In today's video, we're going to check out the H15 Pro Heat from Dreame. This is an upright wet and dry vacuum that provides us the ability of getting that clean experience that we've come to expect from Dreame technologies, and of course gives us the ability of targeting specific, I would say basically dried on dirt or anything that basically is a stubborn experience that you haven't been able to get with a standard smart vacuum. So let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and check out what makes the H15 Pro Heat so special and why you should have it as part of your cleaning arsenal at home. This is TK. Let's check it out. Like and subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell icon so that you're always notified to whenever we have new videos for you on the channel. And of course, the actual 15 Pro Heat comes almost 90% pre-assembled with a few pieces that need to be put on. And the box itself is pretty self-explanatory, as you see in there. It gives us a lot of the features that we're expecting from this unit. And it's an upright, so it does need to have a base system that actually puts it on there to be able to clean itself. It comes with everything that you need for the most part. There's a front water tank, a clean water tank, and a cleaning solution that's included. And of course, we have the dirt tank or the brown water tank that's sitting in the back with a filtration system to also make sure that the smell or the reduction of the wet vacuum smell is not present there. And at the end of the day, basically a replaceable mop head that also is included in the package as well, and a cleaning tool to provide us the ability of getting into those nooks and crannies in case we were able to get anything that maybe gets stuck there, maybe hair or some debris or anything like that. But other than that, once you have that set up, you put it in the base station and you let it charge up to 100%. And while you're doing that, of course, you can download and install the application and set that up so that you're actually able to control it, because there's a feature in here that most of us don't expect from an upright. You're able to get into the actual unit itself. You'll see the information, smart system drying here, smart self-cleaning, of course, custom mode. You can go into mopping, wash and drying settings, and of course, device settings. The one thing I do want to mention here, there's that hands-free operation here, hands-free cleaning. And this allows us to actually control the actual vacuum remotely, things that require me to be on the ground to be able to use it. Although I will say, one of the main features that it does have, it actually does go all the way flat. The actual vacuum itself will lay flat all the way in the back. The self-cleaning process in the base station is very nice. It gets up to 100 degrees Celsius, 212 degrees Fahrenheit to be able to clean the brush head and make sure that everything is cleaned correctly and nothing is wrong. When we're using it on the actual floor, it gets up to 85 degrees Celsius and up to 185 Fahrenheit to provide us that clean session. And that's one of the reasons why we wait for it to get the temperature to the right level before we start cleaning. Now that functionality is used between the 4 different options that we have in here. When you cycle through, on the power button at the top, right after that, there's a mode option, and you're able to go directly from standard mode to hot water mode to basically vacuum mode, and of course turbo mode. The biggest benefit though is that you wait for it to heat up and you can see the temperature and the percentage of the temperature raising up. Once it reaches the temperature, you're really using the full benefit of the Pro or the Heat, basically in the title, because it allows you to actually do some really deep cleaning. And for me, those are going to be those dried on stains from my cats. I have cats, and every morning I wake up and there's always some kind of either a vomit or a dried up stain sitting on the floor. And one of the biggest things I've always had a challenge with, specifically with smart vacuums, is how do I get the smart vacuum to focus on that specific spot? And that's one of the benefits here. You run it with the hot water mode and it works absolutely fantastic. There's no question that it will clean it. And it has worked on 4 to 5 different ones that I found, and I keep finding new ones every day. Definitely a great benefit. The next one we're going to talk about is the powerful suction motors that we have. They do have a specific mode for turbo mode, but the overall performance that we're getting here, because this is a wet and dry, you're actually able to use it in standard dry mode, which means you use it like a regular vacuum. And it has up to 22,000 pascals of suction power and up to 72 minutes of runtime. In my usage and my testing that I've been using it, it runs about an hour and 10 minutes or so. So it's close enough to the number depending on how you're using it and which mode you're in. The H15 Pro handles both wet and dry, so the benefit of it is if you, let's say, have a spill where there's a little bit of wet product of it and of course a dry product next to it, you're able to go into smart mode and it'll work in both ways. If it's just essentially going to be like crumbs, as I'm doing this quick example here when I'm cleaning, I have coffee grounds, I have some leftover cookies and that are basically goldfish that I broke up in there, and even put up some baking powder on the floor just to see how it handles it. It was doing absolutely fantastic. The suction power, I mean, from one pass, you could definitely see how well it was doing. The next system that we want to cover, obviously, a lot of people that, if you have cats like us, it's the tangling experience. A lot of times we have those issues in there where there's tangling around the brush head and it just wraps around it and it just hinders the performance of the system. The tangle-free innovation that we have in here, it basically says that the system itself has a cutter, like a tangle cut system in the middle right behind the brush head, as I'm showing you guys with that quick clip. And it provides us the ability of basically going going through, as it spins around the actual brush head, it cuts up the hair follicles, or basically the cat hair, so that it doesn't clog up the system. And it goes in and it runs through the system with the water, and it basically goes back into the brown water tank, and you empty it out when it gets filled up. I love the fact that the system notifies me when the clean water tank is empty and when the brown water tank is full, and I'm actually able to maintain it so that it always goes through and it never sits there with any kind of the weird smells that we have in there. The last thing I like about this also is the gap-free AI lifting robotic arm, and that's that little red piece that you see at the front of the vacuum piece. And what it enables us to do is when we get up to a wall, it actually gets up there, and once it recognizes that it's stopped, the arm comes down and it scoops whatever dirt is sitting at the corner of the wall, making it clean at 100% level, especially against walls. And it, of course, with the suction power that it has, will remove it right away. It works great for me with litter, because cats do carry that when they come out. So there's always a little bit of litter sitting around the house, especially next to their scratch posts. So for me, that was a great experience. And I appreciate the fact that it has the temperature to be able to self-clean itself. It worked great at cleaning it, and then using the cleaning solution that they provide me and the hot temperature self-cleaning that goes up to 212 Fahrenheit, it basically cleaned everything. And I know that it's not going to carry any of those basically germs or anything that was basically sitting there with it for the rest of the house. The benefit of this upright over a standard smart vacuum is the preciseness of the work that you're able to do, because you're able to control how the system works. Now, obviously, this is going to be conversely not going to be something you can schedule that it does work by itself. You need to do the work. But I also feel like this is a great companion for a standard smart vacuum, where a standard smart vacuum can do a great job being able to go around, recognize dirt, and try to fix as best as possible the areas that it's going through. This one's going to be for those spills where you really need to be able to kind of, normally you would actually have to get down on your knees and start scrubbing. That's the level of where the wet and dry vacuum that we get here from the H15 Pro. The functionalities that we get there and the ability of being able to precisely clean makes this a must-have. Also, the really nice thing about it is, because it doesn't need to run on its own, the base station can be anywhere. You can put it in your garage, you can put it in your bedroom, in your office, anywhere where you don't need to necessarily have it in the middle of the house. And when you need it, you just bring it out, go do the work that you need to, and then put it back on the base station and let it do its work. It notifies you when it needs to be cleaned, it notifies you when it needs new water, and it also gives you the information of how things are going. When you first turn it on into heat mode, you're able to see the temperature rise to the level that you want. And the cycle button on the side right next to the power button lets you switch between the 4 options that we have built into it. The top button that we have at the top, you just put it in the base station. If you want to run it real quick to do a cleaning cycle, it'll go through, it cleans the mop head, and then uses hot air to clean it and dry it so that the next session that you're going to use it is not carrying over any dirt or debris. They do provide us, again, with a replacement mop head, as well as a filter that you're able to reuse, as well as a cleaning tool for the special areas that you can't get directly within your hands. And it's really nice. It's simple and it's easy. I do want to say thank you very much to Dreame for allowing me to check out the H15 Pro Heat. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think? Is this something that's missing from your cleaning arsenal at home? I'll see you in the next video.